Like nothing ever happened. Let's see. What to put on here? Or play that. That's a good podcast. Go back to some couch again. What the hell? Oh.
Yo, what's up? Guess what? Boom! Flash sale. This is off topic. Off topic flash sale. Mention it in a flash. If you're watching this live, you go to the RD store, 20% off merch. Code, it's probably off topic. The code is off topic. 20% off. Get that in. It'll end in a flash. Back to the show. Just like that. Now we can take it easy. They said mention at the top of the show. I said hit the top.
That was the top.
You don't get pressure's on. You don't get more top than that except us talking during the intro, but the audience doesn't hear that part. At least I hope they don't.
Are we going?
Oh, I don't see a limiter. Hooray.
No, I don't think so. We're all here. You're Jack, we know.
So we
I know you. We got Trevor over there. His hair looks, something's off with his hair. It's like more casual than it usually is. Trevor's very, he doesn't have as much gel in it today or something.
No.
And I'm the opposite. I have shit in my hair.
That's Michael. I have a question.
Jeremy's alive there.
Jack, or the panel. Yeah. Trevor and I are wearing the same shirt. Those of you who,
Yep, sure are.
Now, question for the panel and the audience. Does this, the fact that we're both wearing this shirt, does this make me cooler or Trevor lamer? Trevor lamer. Yeah, that's what
Kinda. I don't. I think it does a little bit of both.
Well, here's the deal. So,
Can't you both?
I think it really you both benefit.
It's both.
Since we've been working from home, like typically a box of merchandise would show up at the achievement in our office, like, hey, pull out the stuff you want, and then we'll give the rest of the stuff away. Now that means I get one of everything that we release in the store. I want to show you this.
To be fair, we've always got one of everything. It's just that it comes to the office, and you have the option.
Then we have the option to leave it there, and then it goes. I've got a box. Yeah.
Now, Jack. Imagine a world where your wife also works at a Chibi.
Oh no, not only that, Michael. So I made the mistake of saying, oh, Katie wears a small, so yeah, if you want to throw some stuff in there for her, and so they sent one of every small as well. So
I get two of everything, and there's good stuff, but also I only have so many I can only have so many shirts.
Yeah, I was like, you need to stop.
I have,
too much.
I have a take-back box that I'm going to bring back to the office.
Yeah, I'll just throw out there's stuff in here that's like for RTX at home. There's some cool stuff in here that we haven't announced yet, but I'm actually like, I almost wore one today, and I was like, can I wear this? And they're like, no, not yet. I'm like, okay, but there's like new beanies in here, new hats, there's a bunch of cool stuff coming.
But you can't wear it, right? You can dump it out, and maybe people can freeze frame it.
Yeah.
Watch it fall out of the box.
Like I'll just say like, oh, this is an interesting color for
I
something.
don't know.
You don't know what that is?
Jack, what were you holding?
I think so.
In there, that is. Oh, what was that?
Everybody kiss me.
I know in that box there was like a loud item of clothing in there. That's the one I almost wore, Jeremy, and they were like, yeah, not yet. So, not yet, yeah.
I saw it. It was jacket debate.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff in there.
The other was a shirt.
The other thing that happens with me in those boxes is they show up and usually like, I just bring them into my office and open them up. It's like midday and I'll just be going through and be like, oh, that's cool. And they'll kind of sit there for a little bit. But one of my cats, Zipper, eats plastic. Like we can't make him stop. He'll seek it out and then he'll eat it. And so when he's got this box,
Helicopter.
and he'll get in there and just like scarf down plastic if we don't stop him. So like we gotta make sure we hide all that, like get it unwrapped, get it out of the house, and just can't be moving around.
I like the way it feels.
Ooh, that's cool.
What I like to do is you have a storm drain outside, just shove it in there.
Oh, nice, that's a good idea.
She gets rid of it, it goes off somewhere else, and then it's on. It's like one of those Disneyland 20-foot deep trash cans that just kind of disappears. It's like how I get rid of my tampons. I just flush them.
Oh yeah, right. Then they're throw them in the street, and then they wash away. Like when it rains.
Then they grow into a tree.
Like chalk on a sidewalk. It's gone.
There you go. Never leave saying you didn't learn anything, guys, from off topic.
There you go.
No,
Absolutely.
Sometimes if I end up with a rogue single shirt, like something I grabbed from the office, but it turns out doesn't fit me very well, or there's like, sometimes it'll get me where there'll be something on the back that I didn't see, and then I go, and so one thing I go through clothes a lot, like especially kids' clothes, so we donate a lot of stuff. If I have 1 or 2 shirts,
Loser.
I'll just throw it in there. Like,
You're a loser.
brand new shirt, never worn, I'll just whatever. I'm just like, you donate. I have 400 shirts in my house. I'm just like, I gotta bring this back to the office.
Yeah.
Just go, hey, you guys have it back. I've never worn it. It's not like I'm getting rid of it or I'm looking to get rid of the shirts. It's just like, this is cool, not gonna wear it. Oh, this is awesome, don't need long sleeves. I have 50 long sleeves I don't wear already because
It never gets cold in Texas.
Here's my 900 jacket, cool jacket. I don't need it. Put it back in the box. I have a giant box that I just keep telling myself, I gotta bring it back to the office and just be like, here you go. Yeah, I don't want to like.
Hello,
just
boys.
get rid of it. Like, you know, I don't want to get rid of it. It just seems absurd because it's all still
Losers.
and everything. But it's nice. But man, they come quick, especially because like you just said, there's RTX stuff. So we just got slammed with like 2 or 3 like different drops.
They don't stop showing up.
It's just like, no, take it away. Start bringing another one.
Right before off topic, another box showed
And
up.
they don't know what to do
And,
to
like,
me.
you know, 'cause I watched Cat walk in with it, and I was like terrified that it was more clothing. I was like,
Or more.
God, no, like I can't do it. But it was actually something like I opened my cat's
I see you over there.
Can't sleep in everything.
Yeah, that's true.
It's Valkyrie.
Everything's a bed when you're a cat.
Check this out. This is cool as hell. Look at that.
Maybe, I don't know.
Oh, that is how cool.
Silly
that
boy.
is.
Losers.
That's the exclusive skate deck. The 45 skate deck. That's
Now here's the thing. I don't skate.
Leave me alone.
I'm trying to think. So I offered
Discuss.
Jack. So I was like, another Jack skates.
Because
I
Jack
feel like it's
skates.
something Jack can play.
I mean, like, there's a skate deck right here. I have the skate deck from the X Games. I hosted a thing at the X Games with Tyler Coe a few years back. And I'm like, oh, that's a cool piece, and ultimately I want to mount it on my wall somewhere. So, yeah.
No, I was like, as soon as I was like, this is Jack.
We're getting
And
there.
also, Jack gave me a while back a baseball bat from Far Cry 5. It's like a Far Cry 5 themed bat. He was like, do you want this? I was like, yes, I do. Like, so I have that in my house. I love that thing.
This home defense sponsored by. Dude, I have that Chibi Hunter katana sword next to my bed.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's my last line of defense. I'll just start chopping somebody. That thing is sharp as fuck. They are crazy sharp. I have it like behind my nightstand in the corner of my bed where most normal people would have a bat. There's just a sword there, just on a sheet case. Yeah, it's like they have those shotgun beds. Have you seen those?
Yeah.
Where it's like the headboard. I'm gonna do that with the sword. You just tap it, and the fucking sword falls out, and I cut my own head off by accident. I tap. And it's just fucking decapitates.
Your head in a jar from Futurama? Be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah,
I love that.
Oh man, it is raining in Austin right now, which is so welcome.
Yeah.
Alert! Alert!
I am enjoying it. I love thunderstorms.
And I do feel a little bad because I can see from the front of my house. So Katie has a candle company and she makes candles and all that stuff. She did a massive reorder where literally we have a pallet of glasses in our garage, and today a pallet of wax is showing up. So the FedEx garage guy, and today a pallet of and his hydraulic liftgate broke. And so it was like, I'm gonna call the mechanic. And so like it's like literally a ton of wax, like 2,000 pounds of wax.
Whoa.
And so we put it on there, and he's like, oh, it's not working. He's like, that's weird. And he's like, I'm calling the mechanic. And so we're like, okay, we'll be inside. Ring the doorbell. And he's like, I got it down. Like, you came back in. He's like, I got it down. So we got it in the garage, and then and now he's just parked in our front, like in front of our house. And I guess the guy hasn't shown up yet. And he's like, I've got like 7 other deliveries to make today, and I can't move. And it's like, oh, that
Take up a sandwich or something.
Yeah. We gave him some water.
Watered and fed.
It's there for
I can
take.
give him some alcohol or something. I don't know, but
You can just give him an empty cup.
Oh, he's about to
Be
go to
like,
drive more.
that was a joke. I'm not gonna
be
give him
like,
alcohol.
hold the cup out.
Oh,
Get
Zippy.
your own
Yeah,
damn
what do you
water.
keep cat? Yeah, but
After a
feel
new
bad.
deal of plastic.
like so.
What does
What does 2,000 pounds of wax look like?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Katie posted a photo, but I'll see if I can find it. But literally, it's a pallet that's like probably 6 feet tall. They're 45-pound boxes. She got 36 45-pound boxes of wax, and that'll make about 2,000 candles. And so, yeah.
I've still got the candle I got from them at RTX last year.
Oh, yeah?
Actually, so I got the apple, cinnamon apple, and so it's like maybe halfway done.
Nice.
So every now and then, now that we're getting back to the fall season, I've been lighting that up. It's got a little crackly wood wick.
It's funny because, like, so right now, you know, I use fall season coming up, and so Katie's like, well, I'm gonna do I'm doing a restock soon, so I gotta buy like my pumpkin spice and all this stuff, like cinnamon chai, and it's like all of that stuff is sold out. So like literally, she has no access to any of like all of it, like all the candle makers, all like the, you know, the Etsy candle maker stuff. Like, we can't find pumpkin spice anywhere; it's all gone. And so there's a scramble for fall scents right now. So she's got
It's almost like you gotta order like a season. Where is
pumpkin
it?
spice.
Where is
Wandering
it?
the market.
Let's go.
No, not you.
Kate, oh god, Katie's here. Hello. Oh, she's dancing around on off topic. Oh god. Oh, you want to say hello?
I didn't want to interrupt anybody. I just wanted to update you. The truck is still there.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Oh, okay. The lift gate is just like out at an angle, and it's just. And I just feel so bad for everyone else's deliveries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did this.
You did
This is my fault. This is
Ow.
on me. I think
Sorry
it was
for
like
looking away.
2,000 pounds of wax or something.
Yeah.
1,000 pounds.
I double check the area.
I couldn't. I had to max it out.
Good.
Anyway, hi, bye.
Looks good.
There you go.
What's that?
I don't know. Some person is in my house.
Jack, was that the FedEx driver?
Wait, is that
I
her?
did it. That's why I just let her talk. She maybe
No,
would leave.
it's a roll. Okay.
Don't look her in the eye. Yeah. Anyway, and it's raining now, so whenever a mechanic does show up, that'll be fun for them.
I have been socking these down lately.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they shaved off a couple more calories. I see.
Were they more than this? Were they 100?
They were 100.
I'll tell you, they did, because they sure shaved off some of the flavor. But,
Oh, they're really not
they're
great.
good. Yeah, it's fine. It's not bad. It's just not bold. It's very, like... This is mostly seltzer.
Is that pineapple? Apple you got there?
Claw, yeah, it's a pineapple claw.
I will say
At the gas station.
also the side of
That's where I came from. That's way better than this. But that's also a real drink that's good for you. The sugar and calories and shit. I just tried this just because I love pineapple.
Jesus, get off my butt, crap.
Sugar drink. It's
Do,
good.
do,
These ciders is definitely refreshing
do,
beverage,
do.
but this is just like drinking water where it's got like a hint of alcohol.
Get off me. What is wrong with cars? You murdered me.
It's not enough where I sit back and go, like I do with these ciders, but it is tasty.
Regular car
I do
just
like
throw me
a
out
gateway
murdered me.
drink, and it's a gateway drink. I could suck down
Alright,
4
that's
of
it.
these, and like my belly's not full.
Welcome to
and
die
I
today.
Don't. It's a
Well,
weird
boys.
threshold where it says it's got 3.7% alcohol, and the e-ciders is a bunch more.
Brilliant. What do you have? A freaking
Always 3.7?
minigun?
4.5.
Where did that go down to?
Couldn't
It was
tell
5.
you. I couldn't tell you, but the e-ciders is definitely somewhere around 4 or 5. And if I drink 2 of those in my state now of not really drinking, I'm like, ooh, I'm getting a little sleepy. I drink 2 drinks and I take a nap. I drink 4 of these and I'm just like, is there alcohol in here? Because it's still, the math should add
you
up.
burn?
It's less, but I've drank 4 of these and I think it's just water.
How dare they respond so quickly?
Because for me, somehow the seltzers is just processing the alcohol out. The sucker is just paying overpriced pineapple water. Drinks at the gas station are not cheap. They want it like $10 for 6 pack. Or more. I feel like they buy it at the price that we should be buying it, and then they resell it. You just walk like a sell e-ciders.
That's a West Side location.
What the hell?
They got it at Costco though. They got Austin Eastsiders at Costco. That's where
It's
I
like
got them.
it's definitely big enough where it's clearly like a chain deal thing. They might have them at the Heb. I think the Heb's got e-ciders, but then depending on where you go is what flavor they have. Pineapple's the best. It's the best flavor for sure.
HEB is interesting because like it's so regionally based. Like different stores cereals based on where you're at. And so are different things based on where you're at. So yeah, you get those like you go to Club HEB down by campus, and it's like you're gonna get a lot of alcohol there. They got a lot of booze there. But you go somewhere like in the suburbs and like the selections they're gonna have more wine but less beer. So it's interesting. And I would love to see the person who does logistics for that shit. It's gonna be tricky.
It must be a nightmare. That's a huge logistical nightmare.
Speaking of HEB, did you see the president of HEB said mail-in voting should be a thing?
Oh, Mr. Butts?
Yeah.
Mr.
I think it's Jonathan Butt. I think is his name.
Jonathan Butts.
But yeah. So I get the mayor of Houston he's pushing for universal mail-in ballots, where everyone gets a ballot. You can choose whether or not to use it.
Oh,
and of
for
course,
sure.
because that it makes more people want to vote. Certain other groups don't want that to happen. So he came out and said, like, oh no, like having universal mail-in ballots would be a good thing, and like came out and said, yeah, we should do this.
Yeah.
So I was like, good on you. I like HEB. Get that Creamy Creations ice cream, because Bluebell tried to kill people. Well, they did kill people. Excuse me, they didn't try to kill people. Creamy Creations the way to go.
I don't think they tried. They just did.
They did and covered it up. That was the big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they went, sorry, we fixed it.
And then they killed somebody else.
The text that I go to that they have ice cream there. You can get, they do pies and stuff because it's barbecue, but they'll like slap some ice cream on your pies. And I guess they had Bluebell, so they were like, whoa, we don't have Bluebell because they're killing people. We get this other ice cream. The second that was over, in huge signage, they're like, Bluebell's fucking back! We got it back! And everybody's like, yeah! I love it! They love it here.
Yeah. Well, it's a Texas company. Everyone's like, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, I'm born and raised in Texas, and I'm never eating Bluebell again. Like, they straight up lied about killing people.
All right, hey.
Or they killed people and straight up lied about why these people died. And it's like, no, good.
What was it exactly again? I don't remember.
It was listeria. So they got listeria into some of their batches, which apparently, like, somehow that, I don't know exactly what it does, but it was the cause of death in, like, 7 people. And then they're like, oh, we're gonna clean, we're gonna, like, wipe out, like, or, like, completely clean all these facilities, and supposedly they did, and then, like, another person died after it happened. So it's like, jeez, yeah. I don't know the specific details, but I know people died because Bluebell lied. That's right.
That's like, now you got a slogan for your campaign.
Johnny Cochran here.
This episode of Off Topic is brought to you by Cuts. I'm a simple man. I like a nice, soft, and lightweight t-shirt, something I can relax in, but too often shirts end up in horrible conditions. Shrinkage, breaking, neck, color fade, stretching, you name it. It's gonna happen, especially if you settle for basic tees. Enter Cuts Clothing. In 2016, Stephen Pirelli was struggling to find t-shirts. He wanted something that had enough quality to be professionally important, but have some style. No matter where you look, nothing fits the bill, so he took matters into his own hands. The result of a product you can be proud to wear anytime, anywhere, without sacrificing comfort. Cuts Clothing has 3 main principles: fit, fabric, and function. The shirts are athletic, the tailor unique fit, which is perfect for work, play, everything in between. They're race-shrunk, wrinkle-free, and retain shape over time, and they're custom-engineered. Peacock Pro fabric can be described only as buttery soft. That's why Cuts is a t-shirt. Loved by your favorite athletes, entrepreneurs, podcast hosts. It's like everyone's wearing Cuts these days. Get 15% off your first order by going to cutsclothing.com/offtopic. That's cutsclothing.com/offtopic. 15% off the only shirt
Speaking of people with rough voices, Robert Pattinson, almost said Robert Pattinson, got COVID. The dum-dum. The dum-dum.
What's that? Listen, it's not like he went out mining for it.
Did you read the article? Did you read the article where he like blew up his kitchen? So it was like right at the start of of the COVID lockdown. I guess they're filming Batman, I think in Scotland or somewhere near it right now. And so like this, I think GQ or Vanity Fair, someone did an interview with Robert Pattinson via Skype or Zoom or whatever it was. And Robert Pattinson like spent the majority of the conversation trying to sell this guy on like cup pizza, like you already like pizza in a cup. And he was like, oh, this is my new thing, I'm gonna do it. And he's like, this is how I make it. And like he put this, he rolled up somehow like pizza in a thing, and it was like in a metal cup, and he put it in the microwave. And the guy on the Skype call was like, hey, don't do that, man. That's
Like, hey, listen, I'm a
like,
pizza cup professional.
he's like, you can't put metal in a microwave. And Patson's like, no, it's fine, I've done it before. And he's like, weird, okay. And then like started it and immediately blew up the microwave. And then he was like, oh, that's weird. And just like turned it off, and then like picked up his laptop and then walked away and continued the conversation.
That's amazing.
What is going on with this? So
That's why I hate when you get fast food that wraps their sandwiches with like a tin foil thing. You can't reheat it in there.
yeah,
I mean, you gotta pull it out.
You gotta pull it out there. It's like
Robert-
some will do half and half, where it'll be like paper, but then the inside is lined with it, and it'll fight each other, and then the metal part just lights the paper part on fire.
Together to
And before we get too far away, I should say he's not a dum-dum for catching COVID. Millions of people have caught COVID. I mean, he's
He's a dum-dum for putting metal in a microwave.
Exactly.
For sure.
He's kind of a weird dude, is more in my head. That's where
generally
I
a dum-dum.
If you got COVID, you're not a dum-dum. There's, I mean, I'm sure, like, you can catch COVID and not have any idea how the hell you got it. So, anyway, before we get into the whole Jack things, Robert Pattinson is an idiot because of COVID. No, I think he's a dum-dum because of what he does.
Sniping all of my clickbait articles, man. What am I supposed to write about now?
There's people going to be listening to the podcast, hear that, and be like, I've got to flame this, and then it's like, oh, well, there's an apology. I'm not going to fix it.
No, yeah, they want your blood now.
Yeah.
They halted filming of Batman too, and I think they were supposed to be getting back up soon. So I'm sure
I think they just started. That was the whole thing.
Well,
Well, I hope he does
again.
okay. Because I know now he's got it. Jackie just like that was the first time I heard about it. I know The Rock yesterday an article came out that his whole family has it. It's really unfortunate. I hope just because they're famous doesn't matter. Whoever's got it, I hope people pull through. Like this is
Well, you remember
fucking
the guy
long
who
overdue,
first-
man. I just want to.
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks was like the first person who came down with it. Like,
He was
oh,
in
God.
Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
He and his wife were in Australia. It was like, that was crazy because like at that point we didn't, I mean, not that we fully understand it now, but we understood so much less about it. Even it was like, we were like, I don't know what this means. Like, what's gonna happen to him? But he was fine. He beat it. He got sick and then he healed up. But
That's spooky stuff. There's a lot of things we still don't know about it, about
Yeah.
the long-term repercussions, like, because when you have a virus, just because, like, it affects your lungs specifically, and that's how it attaches to you and affects you, it's in all of your system. It's in all of your body. And so, like, you have no idea, like, we still don't, at least yet, know the repercussions on, like, your heart muscle apparently weakens your heart, and there's going to be long-term effects that we might not know about for a while.
Yep. So
Yeah.
don't get it. Don't get it.
Don't get it.
Wear a mask.
And if you do get it, keep in mind that a lot of people do get it and have very minor symptoms. That happens, it's
or
just
no
like,
symptoms.
or none. Like, but I mean, it's like, don't bank on that. Never bank on that. Be like, I'll be
Also, listen,
one of
like-
the ones who are fine, because you don't
Yeah,
know.
like,
You might not
there's
be.
getting it, but there's also giving it. You can't
Right.
you can't get it without someone giving it. And so like that's the other side that we don't really pay attention to. So anyway, it's been months. We know COVID.
Yeah, we've all
You
been
know,
through
and
this.
everyone's been through it. Did you know about this COVID thing?
What?
Dude, it's crazy.
Anyway.
It's
Hey,
crazy.
you know what also? So we should wear a mask. You know what you shouldn't do is you shouldn't vote twice.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
hold on a second. Why not?
If anyone says,
Don't
hey,
do that.
mail in your vote and then go vote anyway, don't do that. That's super illegal.
No,
Yeah, if you
you're
get caught
testing
doing
the
that, you're in
system.
big trouble.
You're testing the system.
So
You
no
go
matter-
and
no matter who
verify.
tells you
That's
to
what
do
you
that,
No
don't
one
do
would say
that.
Nobody would
Don't-
say that.
No,
one
yeah,
would
no
say
one
that
would be,
ever.
no one would be that stupid.
Here's what
They'd
you
be
do.
like, hey,
I've sent the
just mail in a
collection.
vote and
That's
then go vote anyway.
That's a federal
That would
crime,
be-
is it not?
That's a federal offense.
It's
You will
a
go to
long
jail for that.
time. It's
Well,
a long
so-
time in jail.
That
No matter
depends
what
on the state.
complete
We don't know.
moron, no matter what complete stupid moron would ever say something like that, don't do it. So those of you in North Carolina, if you may have heard that a complete idiot, stupid moron said, hey, vote twice, or mail
I mean, like, there was no, like, ill will towards it. He was always laughing about it, like, this is ridiculous. This is so stupid. It doesn't make any sense. It didn't, like, you know, obviously didn't like, typecast him. He's done tons of stuff.
He's done some weird stuff, too.
He's the ones that think people don't, like, if you just think of Robert Pattinson as, you know, like, being in Twilight, he does a lot of you know, not indie movies, but, like, weird, not huge blockbuster movies.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy's been acting since Twilight, and probably before that. I mean,
Was it
Harry Potter.
Lighthouse? Like he did, what was the Safdie brother movie? The guys who did Uncut Gems, right?
Yes, I believe so. I don't know the movie, but I know them just because I was.
Oh yeah, Good Times.
Good Times, that one, yeah. So he did Good Times, which was the guys who did. Yeah, he went on to do Uncut Gems. I think I'm pretty sure that's him.
Yeah.
He's made a lot of shit.
It's I thought it was
It's called Good Time, is what it was called.
Oh, I weemsed it. Put an S at the end.
Yeah, that's.
Whereas, like I say, my dad makes everything possessive. Everything is owned. Like, so, like, there's Kroger is a grocery store back in Indiana in the Midwest, and he says Kroger's. And, like, everything is something. Well, Kroger owns it. It's his. You know what? You're not wrong. It's still a family business, maybe.
I just want to say, before we get off the mail-in voting, because people want to hear us talk about that, you mail-in vote, and you go home, you don't vote. Just ask around. Say, hey, do you have my vote? Here's my ID. Can I vote?
Sorry.
And if they say yes, you go, gotcha. And then you have the handcuffs on them.
They say the rest.
No, I can't. I can't vote. Bitch. The thing we want to do is when you constantly spread misinformation and propaganda about voter fraud, is vote.
Why, hello, how you doing?
Watch out for voter
How can I help?
fraud. Here's what you should do.
Okay, my friend, I'll take care of the LSPD. Leave it to me.
That being said, before we get too far, we're still talking about voting. So right now, all of Rooster Teeth is supporting something called gamers.vote. So if you aren't registered to vote, or you're not sure if you're registered to vote, go to gamers.vote or gamers.vote/register, and you can find out more information on voting. We're very, very much pushing right now for people to make sure you're registered to vote, and when voting comes up, which is next month, literally, there's some states that start voting next month in October. Make sure you're good to go. Because again, if you're new to it, I know we have a younger audience sometimes. If you're going to be 18 on November 3rd, when Election Day is, so even if you're 17 now, but you're going to be 18 by Election Day, you can register to vote right now and still be able to vote on Election Day. But that being said, you have to register. You can, and in a lot of states, you can't show up day of and just go vote. Some you can, but there are others that you cannot. So anyway, go to gamers.vote. Make sure that you're good to go. If you can vote, it's there you go. Boom. We got some lower thirds there for you watching live. Anyway, it's very, very important. Now, if you don't like what's going on in the United States right now, you need to go vote. Or if you're happy with it, go vote. I don't care. Go vote. It's all about getting more people out.
It's incredibly important. It's so important. Like, so many people don't vote, and it actually matters. You say you don't live in a swing state, I don't give a shit. Go fucking vote. It literally does matter. We've seen elections from small all the way up to the presidency made by a countable number of votes. So yes, please exercise your right. Go be heard, regardless of what side you are. Go vote. And I love the fact that there was some thunder striking there as you were at that point.
Yeah,
my
was freaked out. I had to like calm him down. I was like, no, it's okay. It's all right.
My dog is vibrating.
I'm sure this differs with every state, but I have multiple times over the past couple of years go, am I registered? Is that still good? Most states you can just Google it, you go to a fucking homepage, and it'll be like, give me this information. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
You'll be like, no, you're not. You should register. And so it's very easy to check.
Some people think too that you have to have your voter information card. That's not true. You don't have to have that card in order to vote. You can actually, and I would highly, highly, highly recommend you vote early. A lot of states will do early voting.
Oh, yeah.
Usually 2 weeks. I think most states have extended now due to COVID because they want to thin out the crowds. If you wait to the last minute on Election Day, if you do wait, there's going to be a line, most likely. So bring water, maybe bring a snack, and be prepared. Bring a mask. And even when polls close on Election Day, when polls close, if you're in line, legally, you still get the right to vote. So if you happen to be in line, and like if you get in line at 7:59, polls close at 8, you're still, you have to wait, but you can still vote, and your vote will still count. So can't stress enough how important voting is. And
be lines they might be longer than usual too because there might be less places to vote this year than there would normally be.
Okay, you're going to steal a diamond shipment from Angelico Fine Jewelry. Our client wants these rocks, but she won't pay retail price. I think we can help. Get over there.
Stay informed. Vote. I know this is an increasing trend. Maybe it's as a
Everyone loves a hero, you know, but you don't have to do this alone.
I know some
You found a
people
crew
just
to
don't
join up
vote
with.
because they
This
don't
won't be
vote.
unnecessarily difficult.
Listen, like, either way, someone's going to be picked, whether it's the presidential election or local. So it's important that you do your research to figure out which way aligns best with your theology and the way you want to see your state and country represented. All right. I won't harp on it anymore, but it is truly incredibly important. So.
I thought you knew what you were doing. Okay, backup plan. Grab the diamonds and get out of there before this whole thing goes to shit. Looks like you're coming up on the jewelers. Don't rush in just yet. We're doing this calmly and methodically. Use the drones for reconnaissance on the store. Disable the alarm before they can move.
And again, if you're not happy with how things are going, now's your opportunity to change stuff. If you are happy how things are going, great,
now
vote
get
for
them
it.
over to our client.
That's
They
all
know
I
these
want.
diamonds will be hot,
Anyway.
but there's hot
All right.
and there's hot.
That's enough of
Don't
that.
lead any police to the drop off.
Binge watching Love Island season 2, and boy, do I love
Looks like the competition can see you. I hope you can handle them.
Oh man, but is it exhausting? Did you guys watch any of that?
Is Love Island, is that the one that's currently taking place in Vegas?
Oh, I forgot there's an American one. I've been watching.
Okay, because Jeff was telling me there's a show, one of those garbage shows that he watches.
Whoa, hey!
They're doing a new season right now, which is like on an island, but instead they just rented like this rooftop pool in Vegas. And Jeff and I actually went to an event there for a charity thing once, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that was the place we were at." So he's like watching it, knowing what that is. So I don't know what show that is. I'm sure someone in chat does though. So
yeah, there's a lot, and they're brainless, mindless things, but like that's
my
something
fastest
to turn
one so
your brain
far.
off of at the end of the day and just kind of like mellow
Less than
out.
2.5
Unless
minutes.
you indulge too much in the drama, in which case it can probably just keep us stressed and anxious, and then I have to turn it off. But yeah, it's one of those trash shows I've just been really enjoying lately.
I enjoy trash shows. I don't usually do reality trash shows. Like, I watched Desperate Housewives when that was on. That's a good trash show. I like that crap, but like scripted crap.
Diamond safe and secured. And the client has already wired us the money. We got there in the end.
I want to actually watch something I want to watch now. You know, like shit. In my like late teens, early 20s, I had nothing but time with this. And I'd watch every piece of shit I could find. And now I'm like, I still like trash shows, but it's like why I fell off of Riverdale. People that say it's actually good, it isn't. It's a good trash show. It's not a real good show. Jeff thinks it's a good show. It's not. It's a good trash show. I just can't. I don't have the time to like keep up with trash shows just because it's trash. Like there's something inherently funny about it. Yeah. And like you want to. First of all, you need somebody else to watch it. You can't I can't get satisfaction out of a trash show by myself. I need to watch it with someone else. Like, can you believe this fucking trash? Like, oh my god.
Right.
That
like,
guy killed that guy.
Sit there and just complain about the idiocy that happens sometimes.
Right, you complain about it, you bitch about it, but like that's the enjoyment. But now I just don't have the time for that. I just want to watch something good.
It's basically the same place
When I
as
say
no pools.
trash shows, I should probably say disposable shows. Like, not necessarily like the people on it are trash or anything, but it shows us like you kind of watch and just immediately forget about it. It's like, oh yeah, okay, whatever, it doesn't bother me. Like American Pickers. I never watched that show, but every time I go to my parents' house, they've got it on. And it's just two guys. I don't know what it is, but it's like, and then I'll sit there and I'm like, I just watched 3 episodes of this thing. And like, I have no idea.
And they're in a truck and they're like, we got another one, and they drive
I
over.
buy
that Coca-Cola sign for $5.
Well, what would you go that back for? It's not for sale. And you go, oh man, they didn't get it, and then they move on.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'd call that. I wouldn't call that a trash show. Those are like popcorn shows where it's just something's on.
Like the
you know?
Bingies.
But like, to me, trash show is like CW dramas are literally trash. In that, like, it's cliched, everyone's beautiful, they're supposed to be teenagers, but the actors are 35 years old.
Special cargo ready for collection.
I have a very clear
Go get it
mental
and bring it to
image
the
in my head
warehouse.
what a trash TV show is, but I enjoy it because I know all of those things. It's like a show that, it's like, this isn't Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad is a good, well-written, and you're like, oh my god. It's shows that are like, they try to be that show, or maybe they don't try, and they're just like, yeah, but instead of building the plot for 3 episodes, we could just have people fuck.
This is a
About
beautiful
that?
Sketchington in chat just said trash shows are the soap operas of Gen Z. I think that's
Yeah,
a perfect way to describe it.
I think that's you know, and again, I mean, I would even say millennials. I mean, again, there's plenty of trash shows that I watched when I was a teenager.
Yeah, we're not watching General Hospital anymore. Like that's a like as the days of our lives.
I never watched it, but I'm pretty sure one of those shows is Grey's Anatomy. It's a trash show because it's like you think it's about people working at a hospital or whatever, but they're all just like fucking each other, and it's all just like interpersonal drama and all that, and it's like 50 seasons long, and it just never ends. This episode of Off Topic is brought to you by Lumen. You know me. I hope you know me. I'm Michael, the host of the show. I'm a busy lad, and I'll admit sometimes I overlook things. I wake up, I shower, I brush my teeth, and I'm on my way. You really got to do at least that much. But I always overlook skincare. Here's the cold hard truth, guys. Your skin.
Alright, which...
You want it to look as good as possible for as long as possible. Need to address them now. Get it? You might not know where to start, but there's a company that's taken all of the guesswork out of it. Lumen. Lumen is on a mission to help give men the amazing skin they deserve through high-quality, expert-created products.
The one that
delivered
survived is
right
a little
to their
scary.
door. All of their products are formulated specifically for men's skin and made to target skin issues. Maximum efficacy using top-notch ingredients like charcoal, green tea extract, and vitamin C. And it's not just about looking good; it's about feeling good. You need good skin health, especially as you get older, to prevent long-term damage. I've been using it. I use the exfoliating rub, the charcoal cleanser, and then
These two fall in the same
before I go to
spot.
bed at night, hop on that
I hope so.
moisturizing balm. Moisture, the balm.
Oh,
it's
one
all
blew
there.
up, really?
Even if you have no idea where to begin, Lumen makes it so easy to find the right skin management system for you. Choose from different skin concerns to address, or just pick up a simple starter pack for free. You deserve to look and feel your best, and here's where you start. Go to lumenskin.com/off-topic to get a 1-month free trial of everything you need to start your skincare journey at home. That's lumenskin.com/off-topic to get your first month free. Lumen Skin. Don't skim on your skin, because it's lumenskin.com/off-topic.
I never watched Grey's Anatomy, but I've heard a lot about it. I watched House, and there was definitely a point where that show went from like really solid episodes to it kind of started to fall into that territory where it's like, all right, now there's a lot of interpersonal drama because you're so involved and invested in these characters. Now they're all banging each other, and House is over here, and he's got a lot of issues that he's struggling with. Drug addict. He's doing surgery on his own leg, and like it's like one of those shows that definitely started to extend itself into like a different territory. Where would you place? I think it's called The Society. Was that what it was on Netflix, Michael?
Yes. I would say that's a little closer. Like, that skirts the line. I think it's actually like a good show, but it's definitely got tons of trashy tropes.
Well, was that different from the Ring? What was the other one where it was like the people in the hotel and they were like doing social media stuff?
Oh no, that's a reality show. This is a scripted show.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah, The Circle.
Yes.
Society
Yeah,
was
reality show.
Society, like the drama, the elevator pitch is that all these teens head out on a bus to go on this high school trip or whatever it was. The road is blocked off or cut off or destroyed, so they turn around and come back to town. Everyone's gone, all the parents are gone. You don't know what happened. It's kind of like Lost meets like teen drama, like Riverdale, if I were to put it together. So yeah, it's decent. It's got a good hook. I need season 2 to come along, and I hope they don't do the Lost thing. Oh really? Awesome. Yeah, if they don't do the Lost thing where it just draws out, and the answers end up being very ethereal, and you're like, what's going on?
Another show that came out, I think right before The Society, very similar name, The Order, fucking garbage.
Okay.
That show I've watched 2 seasons of. That you watch 1 episode, and I'm like, oh, this is bad. This is a bad show. Episode 2, let's go. That's about like witches. It's about witches and werewolves and shit, and it's not good.
Michael,
like,
that mentality is.
I love it. I love it. I'm just like the main actor. I'm like, oh, it's just like so. Oh, his lines are so off, and he doesn't know how to curse right. And they toned it down in season 2. Like the guy's swearing constantly, but it just sounds like a 10-year-old who just learned how to swear. He's just like saying fuck, like when it doesn't make sense, like in the middle of it. Like it sounds hypocritical coming from me, but I'm telling you, it's like the guy, the actor, didn't swear, and they're like, nah, you gotta swear in these scenes, and he's like, okay, and he just did it. It doesn't land. Like I said, there's a part where one of the main actors, it's a whole fucking thing, and she's like a witch and all this shit or whatever, but it's a montage of her doing like witchcraft, and it involves her like, she's like diving into somebody's dream, and she keeps getting kicked out of the dream, so it's a montage of her being startled awake. And like in that montage, it's like, oh, I'm scared, oh, I'm this, oh, I'm that, and then she wakes up and goes, holy fuck balls. And I was like, oh, that's a line. Yeah.
I love it. Oh, wait a minute. The chat is saying that Society was canceled last week.
Was it really?
Yeah.
The Achievement Hunter curse.
Well, they've already filmed
killed it.
season 2, though. Yeah, that's what I heard.
No, that show was good. See, that bums me out. That was a good hook, and we didn't get to it. There were some definitely trash elements, like trash element of the Society, the main like bad kids.
Dude, Jeremy, I'm smelling what you're smelling.
Rate it. What is it?
I did that.
Rating.
Oh, dude, that's an 8 out of 10 right there.
All right, 10.
New
Gavin and I
podcast
used to
smell
sniff
jam.
Gavin and I used to
Early
sniff all the
copy
games
smell,
we got.
too.
Dude, I did that like unironically, like I just unwrapped it, like, you know, while you guys were talking about TV. So I like unwrapped it and like popped it open and just instantly went.
These guys look like...
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one. Because I don't get physical copies of games anymore. So that,
You know what they need to do is they need to, like, when you pre-order or buy a digital copy, they need to just send you a scratch and sniff that has that whole nostalgia packed in smell. It's the smell of mom taking you back home from EB Games, and you go, the manual that I'll never read.
Yep.
And then you just keep smelling that product.
I know there's no manual in here, unfortunately, so I'll never know that again.
No!
I know, dude.
Is that the manual is how you indulged in the game before you got home.
I'm talking about the Society.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm still right. Like,
They snip-snapped. They renewed it, and then they went, no, we're not renewing it now.
I'm angry. I'm angry at the chat. I'm keeping it to the chat.
It was such a good build-up. The finale was not great. It's probably the thing I like the least about the show, is that the penultimate episode was really good, and the finale just sort of happened.
It was also a real
genuine.
Katie and I are watching.
God damn it.
We're currently watching his Dark Materials. So we're on the last episode of that. That's actually pretty good.
I like that show. I watched it.
I never read The Golden Compass. I never watched the original movie or anything. But like the show's been really good. The CGI is incredible. Like the bear is amazing on that show.
Barrington.
Yeah. And so Paddington. I think it's his name.
Seems like Yorick Bear.
So that is Vinny gun? Think about one of your trailers get shot into chunks.
Bryanston or something. Anyway, but it's a good show, and I like it. But we're on the last episode now, so but season 2 that is coming a while ago. Yeah.
Halfway to season 2 at least.
Yeah, which is kind of nice. So, and also speaking of season 2, Mandalorian's coming back next month.
Yeah, next month.
Like it's like October 3rd.
Trevor said.
Yeah. And also, Mulan comes out tomorrow. I'm excited to watch Mulan.
Tomorrow?
Really? Yep. Well, tomorrow, Friday.
Comes out tomorrow. Yeah, I'm thinking about movie night. Barbara's in the chat. We're gonna movie night tomorrow. You rent it on Disney Plus, right?
Yeah, it's like $30 on Disney Plus. And then
Please watch yourself. We're visible to the competition.
Balls.
If you want to wait a few more months, you can wait. But
I'm a millennial. I don't wait for shit.
I'm going to pay for it. I'm going to support it just because it's unfortunate they had to do that. I mean, I get why they're doing it, but it's not going to make the amount of money it should have made in theaters. I would have seen it in theaters. So like I'm going to go out of my way to I will pay for this because this is something that is a theater release of a film that I'm going to see in my house. The Alamo would have made
Oh, yeah. I forgot about the themed menu. Why'd you have to say wait?
Right, the themed menus, man.
What would they done for
part of movies?
How would they make the food the same forwards and backwards?
What?
Tenet.
Tenet.
Oh, sorry. I think I got
what?
muddled in.
What?
Sorry. No, Tenet comes out.
Malum?
Tenet's out.
Maybe they have like a
Tenet's out.
What they could do? Tenet, they could release like a pineapple upside down shot or something. That could be your drink to go along with it.
Food palindrome.
Did you see? Did anybody see Gavin's slow-mo
destroy my machine.
I always wanted to...
That shouldn't be a problem. I'll have your personal vehicle collected as soon as possible.
There's no second
I
in
guess.
It's the same. I watched that video, and what I like is I get like an extra satisfaction out of watching videos, like slow-mo guys, because like we know Gavin, you know. There's like we have the advantage of watching something and then going to him and talking to him about it. And I watched that video, and my first thought was, oh, this must have been a fucking pain in the ass to film. Yeah, just the whole video was like, wait, what order did he film this in? And it's not just like, well, he did it in reverse. It's like back and forth, and back and forth, and back and forth. And I talked to him shortly after that, and he was like, oh yeah, that pissed me off, and then this pissed me off, this thing went wrong, and then that thing went wrong. And I was like, even without you telling me that, I knew that, and I got extra enjoyment out of watching, which is probably not what a lot of people that watch Slow Guys videos get. But I appreciate that extra, knowing that extra effort went into it. I appreciate all that. He said it was like, he had to write it all down. He was like,
the majority of the slow-mo guy stuff is like, okay, we're gonna do this one thing, you know, we're gonna show in slow-mo, and it's like, it's fascinating, but it's like, that's like the easiest thing. Like, so no one had one that was tough. It's like, alright, yeah, there, put some work into it, you punk.
Yeah. I'll tell you, I mean, when I think of Gavin, I think lazy idiot.
Yeah, exactly. True skill. He has a really nice camera. That's the
true skill looks seamless, is the thing. When you do something really well and do it right, it looks like it was effortless. And they do have a good tendency to do that on slow-mo, but this one was really, really involved. It was really cool to watch.
Someone in chat said good tenant food would be a hot dog because it looks the same on both sides. So, like, you can flip it around and eat it either way.
I like that.
With that, you can say, like, a burrito, too, and, like, you know, something that's
anything
like
that tastes the same coming up as it did going down.
Great.
You know, maybe that will work.
Well, I don't know who's testing that. I don't know.
I'll do it. Well, that reminds me of Jimmy Neutron, where the dad eats the ice cream, and then he uses one of Jimmy's, like, inventions to reverse time, pull the ice cream back out, and go, and then he just kept doing that.
But I remember in that
It's
scene,
being
like, the last thing you see is his tongue go like, what? And like it like places the whole scoop back down. He like eats it again.
Yeah, Tenet just came out for us, but it's been out, I think, at least in Australia. I know it's been out internationally for at least a week or so already, because I've seen a bunch of people have seen it already. And people are saying it good. I've seen a lot of positive feedback for the film. Yeah, I just rewatched Inception recently, which is like 10th anniversary, and I'm like, man, I enjoyed it, but I think I enjoyed it more the second time watching it. It just kind of, it was a movie that I saw that I wasn't like, oh yeah, Inception, I love this movie, I'm gonna watch it. I just watched it, and as I watched it, I was just like, this is a really good movie. I forgot how good this is. It's long too, and it does not feel that long. It's almost 3 hours. It's like 2:40, 2:45. And it's like another movie that's like perfect for that is The Matrix. First of all, fantastic film.
First Matrix.
Yeah, I would rewatch it 1,000 times just for the sake of it. But like, you guys know me, I love conspiracy. I love like fan theories. I love all of that sort of stuff. And so when people analyze The Matrix, there is a lot of metaphor and a lot of like whatever the word is. I'm losing it right now, but basically there's a lot of like hidden meaning within the movie and a lot of like Easter eggs throughout. And rewatching it again. All that, just like it's such a deeper appreciation. I love watching a movie again for the second time after really analyzing it. It's and Inception's a perfect one to do that with too. It's like was it Hal or Cal? Is that what Leonardo DiCaprio's character? So anyway, with his ring being the totem rather. I'm trying to think what they call him his last name. I'm trying to think what it is. It's Cobb. Cobb. That's you're right. Yeah, Cobb. But
who's Cal? Superman.
Cal is from Star Wars. Cal is from the new Star Wars. It's a brand of love. Yeah, but just like one of those. And honestly, I didn't even go into the film with that. Just seeing the film itself and none of those deeper, like researching it or anything like that. There's so much to pick up from because you're over the big mental hurdle of what is is happening. Like, I'm sure a lot of Tenet, I'll be like, what the fuck is happening? Just because of the way that it's just weird sci-fi. Not having that, seeing Inception the second time, even 10 years later, it was a lot easier to just, like, kind of absorb everything else that was happening and not wrap my mind around the whole Inception thing. And, but I know one of the things that you're talking about, that people were like, oh, that's not his totem, is that, like, the top isn't his totem, it's something else, and people think it's his wedding ring. And what's interesting about that is, because people come up with theories, and, you know, you can say the theory fits, but a lot of times a theory can fit having no inclination in the film. You know what I mean? You can kind of fill the gaps of the film with a theory that doesn't really, like, lend credence to the theory. Just like, yeah, I mean, that could be the thing, but that's purely out of the film. What kind of lends to the wedding ring thing is that he only wears it when he's dreaming, but he doesn't have it when he's awake. Right? Just like, oh, that's a cool thing. That's like, that's a physical thing that's in the film. You know, that you can, kind of like, it's not just, I don't know, I made this up and it could be a thing. I think the way it's always more interesting to me.
Exactly. And I think that's why I love Nolan films so much, because he has just like magnifying glass for detail, right? Like anytime you're looking at a frame, there's intent behind everything you're seeing. I love that. I really admire that skill.
This episode of Off Topic is brought to you by AT&T 5G and Samsung. Rooster Teeth is joining forces with Samsung and AT&T 5G to kick things off for our upcoming RTX at-home virtual event. RTX, have you heard of it? It's coming right to your home. We're creating a Ruby outdoor mural that you can add art to from your home using the Mark Augmented Reality app. Here's how you do it. You just download the Mark app, right on your phone. Start creating your own Ruby art starting on September 5th through September 7th. Each night, fans' designs will be projected on the mural wall, and you can see yours come to life on social media. And if you're on the AT&T 5G network at home, you can access Plus mode through the Mark app, so you'll get the highest res video and crystal clear images to explore on the app. While you're at it, check out the new Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra 5G powered by AT&T 5G. Just note, AT&T 5G requires compatible plan and coverage not in all areas. This device features cloud gaming available on the power of 5G, so you can try out cloud gaming with high-performance experiences. Brought to you via the newest Samsung devices, powered by AT&T 5G. Galaxy Note 20 Ultra 5G also has a 120Hz adaptive display. And Alfredo, big fan of that. He loves the hertz, he loves the display. It'll automatically adjust the refresh rate according to the content you're viewing, as well as an intelligent battery that optimizes for your gameplay. 5G support, Wi-Fi optimization, and the advanced processor, you get a smooth gaming experience with virtually no lag. Lastly, don't forget to check out the S Pen. It's this guy right here. I got my phone's in here. This. You can doodle with it. You can take selfies with it. It's got a little picture button on here. It's sweet. And the Samsung Notes. You can doodle with Samsung Notes to create your own works of art. Or if you can't create works of art like me, you just scribble. You scribble, scrabble, but you still have fun. Okay, you're still competing. So head on over to att.com/Galaxy Note 20 Ultra 5G and get the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 5G for free, or the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra 5G for $299.99 for a limited time. Click, click, click. Take those pics.
There's another one I'm trying to remember which movie it was. I just saw it on Reddit today, where it was Knives Out. Forget the director for that one. Ryan Johnson.
Yeah,
and
Johnson.
But essentially, anytime you see it, again, this was on Reddit if you want to check it out, but anytime you see a clock in the movie, or anytime you see any timepiece in some way, it actually looks like you're in real time, like you're following along the story as it would be progressing. And I think you feel that too, watching it, because you feel like, when they check the emails, when they go to a certain, I don't want to spoil anything, when they go to a certain location, etc., like those kind of details, attention to detail is really cool, really impressive.
Yeah.
That was a really,
that's a good movie.
that was a really good movie, and I really hope they make another one.
I think they are. Isn't it confirmed already?
Well, is it Benoit Blanc is Daniel Craig's character?
Right, that's all you need to do. Just give him another case.
Yeah, I mean,
you establish the world, you have him, nobody else should be the same. Just give him a case.
Yeah,
it was like, it was just like great.
That's the idea. It's like not Agatha Christie, like or Murder on the Orient Express.
Nancy Drew is what you want to say.
Like
Nancy Drew.
Who's the Murder on the Orient Express guy?
Wasn't that a book? Are you talking about the author?
No, the character.
The guy in
the detective. Not Clouseau, that's Pink Panther.
Right.
Batman.
Sherlock Holmes. It was the professor, right? Lupin? Was it him?
Yeah, well, Kenneth Branagh was the most recent one. He plays Hercule Poirot. Hercule Poirot. French.
Gotcha. Oh, no, I was way off. I get
Anyway, but there's a whole series, like, that's a character that exists in many, many different films and books. And so if they do the same thing with Daniel Craig's character, I would be all about that.
Knives Out was just great because it was such a like refreshing film of a nice like whodunit, you know, a new original, you know, screenplay of just like a whodunit that, you know, is in like people get murdered in it, but also it's still like lighthearted. It's a lot of comedy in it. It like, I don't know, it just perfectly balanced itself. It was a really enjoyable film. It was a great movie to see in a movie theater. I fucking love that movie.
It was perfect for following the clues along too. It was perfect for trying to decipher what was happening along with it.
And it's so rare nowadays to get a movie where it's like, I'm going to tell a complete story and put a bow on it and it's done, you know? Like, we...
I'm good, man. I realized about halfway to that conversation, I was like, it sounds like Knives Out is like, it's like Clue.
Yes,
Kind of, yeah.
There we go.
I got it. It's not as goofy, but like, I mean, it's just like a change of the times. It's what Clue would have been like if it was made now.
Yeah.
I mean, some movies you watch that are 30 years old and like they hold up, but it's just, you wouldn't make a film like that now. It's a very close to Clue.
Yeah.
It's really enjoyable.
And Inception, I've heard, is good. So I was like, I was along for the ride. You know?
No, I knew. Well, I feel like this is the closest you're going to get to watching the film.
It's true. It's true. I feel like I've seen it now.
See, I feel like here's what you can do now, though. Now, when you talk to people that you don't work with, you can go, oh, yeah, I've seen that. And you'll be able to pull just tiny little things from this conversation.
You'll be talking about Knives Out, right? And I'll be like, oh, I wrote down on a piece of paper what I thought was going to happen, and I gave it to my wife. And she was like, wow, you nailed it.
You just gotta talk about the twists, like
We're good to
all
go.
You gotta do is go like, man, like the first twist, I got, but the second one, that was crazy.
Right, and then
they'll just agree with you.
Yeah, and they'll be like, oh, I never saw it come or whatever, but then, you know, if they start getting into too much detail, go, I don't know around here who hasn't seen it, so I don't want to spoil anything.
Smart.
And then I'm out of the conversation.
If I was trying that, they'd be like, did you watch the... You
didn't watch the film. Did you watch the same film?
Here's the thing. I feel like most people talking to me don't care enough whether or not I've actually seen it. They just want to talk.
It's why when you're with us, if you mention a film, I immediately demand details. I immediately interrogate you.
Yeah,
I don't believe for a second when you say you've seen a film. I don't buy it.
It's awful. Like, I'll always say, yeah, they'll make a reference.
So Jeremy, you haven't seen Inception?
No.
Tyler Stab in our chat said, Jeremy hasn't seen Inception, ... and then Alfredo responded, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, it's like a dream and a dream and a dream or something. All I know is when there's several things inside of other things, people say it's like Inception. And so I go, got it.
Yeah, and also things get slower.
Oh, man. And it goes
time dilation. And that's...
That's the theme.
Wait a minute, you said you had...
I've essentially seen it. There it is.
You said you didn't see it.
That's enough
You know that.
most conversations with, like, other people. That's all I need.
Well, that's the film with the dreams and the slow and the fall and the...
No, like, he's seen it. I haven't seen it.
The dreams and the slow and the fall.
That's all I need.
Here comes the kick. This is a perfect segue to talk about something we actually filmed this morning. I don't know exactly when it's going to come out, but we did a fun little video today with Jeremy and Fiona, Jack and I, where
We should say it was a sponsored thing.
it was a sponsored thing, but it was our idea of a creative to do. So like, it was like our idea, our whatever. And the premise was basically get Fiona a couple clues, like images only, to a certain movie, and to see from those photos what they deciphered the plot to be after a couple questions and some photos and stuff. And it was a whole lot of fun. So I hope you guys
it was pretty cool.
look forward to that one.
It's exactly basically what the chat is asking for right now. You've already
Pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah. Like,
It was a lot of fun, and it was a sponsored thing, and it was cool though, like Trevor was saying, because it was a sponsored thing, but they were like, you guys can come up with the content, and I was like,
what do you want to make?
Yeah, and so we made something that was our original idea, and it was good. So
Anytime
doing it.
Just some peek behind the scenes. I work with sales all the time, but anytime we can merge ideas that we already have or ideas for things we want to do with a sponsor, and the sponsor basically allows it or funds it to make it happen, I love that. That was one of these opportunities here. But anyway, it'll come out. I can look up the calendar now, but it'll come out in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So look forward to that. Let's see.
Everyone else excited for RTX from home?
RTX!
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
that's soon. It's like less than 2 weeks.
The 15th, man. Yeah.
15th to the 25th. Yep.
Yeah.
Alright.
10 days. 10 days of RTX.
11 days, right?
I guess, it's one of those things that, like...
Because you count with 0 when you're doing like that. You would count the first day as 1, isn't it?
I don't know.
You're making it more
Jack.
confusing. No, yeah, Jack, here's Jeremy. Let me get you out of this conversation. Yeah.
There you go.
You're right. I still have stuff. Oh,
Nailed it.
I still have stuff to learn, about, like, knocking out a conversation.
Could have just went,
Yep.
Oh, God.
First bell.
Speaking of
Ding,
RTX.
ding, ding, ding.
Is that still only for us? Anyway.
No, they can hear it.
They can hear it. They can hear it.
We still get Lindblad, though. We can only hear Lindblad.
We'll see the bell explosion in the chat soon.
We're not sure if he exists. I hope we should start doing a bell explosion, just like a rap. You hear the ding, you should hear the ding, and then a bell should explode. I don't know why, but it'd be cool. That's the first bell. Trevor's coughing and sneezing, whatever. He can't contain himself. He's loving life. He's loving you, firsties. If you're a first member, thanks for your support. Thanks for watching. Thanks for signing up. Really appreciate it. It means more now than ever. It's enabled us to do so much since we've been working from home. Just want to say thanks to you. And if you're a first member, maybe you're a new first member, maybe you're someone who's not a first member and you want to check it out, you sign up for a trial. Check out all the great first content. There's tons and tons available to watch. All kinds of stuff like Haunter and Weird Place and hardcore mini golf, hardcore tabletop. And there's tons and tons of first exclusive content, and then there's also a bunch of other perks like discount in the store, and you can watch videos early, and you get
a star next to your name in chat.
Star next to your name. So yeah, just thanks. And you know, it's not just for firsties, but while we're in the thanking mode, you know, again, thanks for watching. Little sale going on right now. If you're watching live,
Das
you
war's.
go to the
Das
Rooster Teeth
war's.
store, doing a 20% off sale just during this podcast. Code off topic, flash sale, they call it. No members are being exposed. It's just flash, as in it's quick. The sale, it happens fast and it will be over. So if you were looking, if you're eyeing something, hop on over, save 20% with code off topic.
The good thing is we can say flash sale now because DC is in the family.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. Yeah, we
He's
finally
fast.
own the Flash.
DC, Warner Brothers presents
The Flash
DC,
owns
the
us.
flash sale on roosterteeth.com. Code off topic.
Man, we
Hi,
watched.
cat with the bow tie.
Just
Okay,
talking
guy.
about the old Warner. We
Butthole.
watched Doctor Sleep last week, was it? Was it the week before that? That was a great movie. I
It
really
is.
enjoyed
It's a
that.
good movie.
I had never seen it before, and it was that was really good, and it was fucking brutal. There was some brutal shit in it.
And the director, Mike something or another, I forget his last name, he directed Haunting of Hill House, and he just did Haunting of Bly Manor, which is the sequel to Haunting of Hill House, which stars our buddy Rahul. And that's coming out
yeah.
that's coming to Netflix,
That's
I think,
soon.
this month, actually.
Soon, yeah, real
It's Mike
soon.
Flanagan, by the way.
Mike Flanagan, there you go.
And then we
That's
met
Rahul's real name.
the young actress.
Yeah.
She's 12 or so. I have to look up her name as well.
She's a big Ruby fan. It was funny,
She's a
we
huge
met her.
Ruby fan.
Because it was Alfredo, Trevor, and I we got to go to Colorado and see the movie, and then she was there, and we met her, and she was like, oh, okay, cool, yeah, it's nice meeting you. And then she's like, oh, yeah, okay, whatever, and then her handler or someone was like, oh, those are the guys who do Ruby, and then she's like, oh, God, I want to talk to them more, and so she, came back to us to talk more about Ruby, which is pretty funny.
Yeah, initially they were trying to get the Barbara and Lindsay to go to that.
Yep.
And there was just conflicting schedules.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there was a convention of some sort.
But she got to meet Jack.
Okay, well, I guess we gotta do some marketing. Instead of handing out flyers on Vinewood Boulevard, I want you airdropping them over the city. There's a chopper waiting, ready to take off. Your flyers are on board.
And, and I was in season 1, and I think maybe season 3? I forget.
I don't remember that far back. But there's a lot of very clear, Ruby references, but Emerald specifically was her favorite character. So there's a lot of hero shots of an Emerald statuette, and I think at one point she has that green wig on, that kind of bob cut. And it was really surreal to see that. It was really cool, but it was also very sweet meeting her because she
saw the trailers. We saw the trailers, the posters and stuff, and it's like, oh, that's kind of cool that Ruby snuck in there, and then we watched the movie, it's like, that's a plot point. That's huge. The main character's wearing our creation's outfit. What? And it was really neat. So,
It's really cool.
my cat, Jeremy, do your cats just lay on your mouse pad? My cat is literally
They
right.
lay on everything.
Yeah,
Have you listened to this man?
They lay on.
I mean, he'll so he's just laying here. He'll just walk oh, that's where your hands go. Cool, that's where I'm gonna be now.
Right.
Or he'll just kick stuff out of the way and be like, this is my spot.
Well, they do seem to plot out where my hands will be, so that whatever I'm touching now is them. Now I need to touch them. Man, I brought up this story before that I was playing Skyrim and doing the Dark Brotherhood quest, which starts with 3 people tied up with bags over your head, and they're like, hey, talk to them, and one of them has a contract on them. You have to figure out which one by how bad you think they are after talking to them. And you have to shoot one of them. And I was mid talking to them. Booker walked up, sat on my mouth, and just shot the dude in the head. Just arrowed him right in the face. And the person was like, "That one, interesting choice." And I was like, "No, I didn't want to kill that one."
That's a whole gaming series. You do Telltale, let the cats decide.
God damn it!
What kind of character would a cat create with its randomness? Or is it random? We'll never know.
It's not
Or
random. They're evil.
what would a cat remove from creation? And it's Gavin's footage.
It's true.
Yeah.
It was more like a whole video because I had OBS issues too. So it was at the end of a really strong J-mod. Two of the OBS was recording the whole time, and apparently it turned itself off at some point. And then Gavin had which one was it?
It was cute. I think it was cute.
Yeah, Q was walking along his computer, and I think this has happened multiple times now. Stood right on the power button. And there went the footage.
Yeah, my power button's on the top of my computer as well, on my gaming PC. So I have a bottle cap taped over it. Just because, Scooter likes to walk on that computer and like sleep on top of it because it gets warm. So that's where he likes to sleep. So like I just tape a bottle cap over it. If I need to turn it off, I have to peel up the tape and actually do it. Otherwise, I'll just turn it off constantly.
I like those cases that have the slidey thing, you know, that protects it.
Yeah.
I don't have pets, but I have children. Fortunately, they're not running amok when I'm in the middle of recording, but a number of times just playing, like, using my PC in general after work, it's just gone dark and like, fuck. And then a child's walking away from my computer. Kids
Running away.
effing love buttons, let me tell you. They're fun. They love pushing them, especially when...
Shut up, Gerald. Maybe it's not my podcast to look.
But it makes Dad yell. Turn my computer off, and I'm just like, ah! But
I did see someone after that when I was telling the story about Booker killed the guy. You know, they were like, oh, big fat Booker, whatever. Booker's lost 1.5 pounds.
hey, all right.
The diet's going well. He's slimming down. I mean, he's still fat, but he's getting there. It's a slow process. Zipper's not.
Yeah. You
Zipper's
can't,
fat.
Zippy. You can't keep calling him fat or else he'll quit.
Yeah.
You know, if he doesn't
That's his motivation. No, I'm shaming him.
Oh, God.
He's over there. I mean, he's still. Like,
So he's like, does he go, Jeremy, he's like, I lost 1.5 pounds. And you go, that's nothing. 1.5 pounds?
Yeah.
You make me sick.
Well, he needs to lose 5 pounds, which is
How much
third
does
of
he
his
weigh?
weight. Well, he's 17 pounds.
That's a lot.
Which is a lot.
Have you seen those cat treadmill rings?
Yeah.
You can get, like, I've seen people with those things. I'm curious if they work. Like,
Airdropping
Mike will do it. Like, I don't know why. Like, my cats, they keep themselves, like, they're big, but they're not, like, overweight. And I don't know, like, I mean, we have the food out where they can eat whatever they want. Like, we just have, like, a self-feeder thing. And just, they've maintained. And it's I don't know how. Like, I don't know. I mean, like, they've got some gut fat. Like, I mean, Cooper's just laying here with his tail. But, yeah. They're not, like, you know, spheres.
That's probably like average. You know,
Phew.
the average creature left to its own devices and eating only when it's hungry is probably going to have a little bit of muscle, a little bit of fat, a little bit of this and that. It's like, that's just evolution. That's what we need.
They also play a lot. Like, they chase each other a lot. There's a lot of running.
That'll help you.
Yeah. Because, I mean, like, the scooter is 8 pounds.
Okay.
What's up, man? you gonna go?
Go pee. I just waved him off and then.
Oh, okay.
Hi. They got cats. I don't.
Oh,
Yeah.
Barbara and I have been talking about getting a dog, and like this is like the best time and the worst time to get a pet because you can be there and house train them and like because it's it's a big responsibility. I want to make sure that I do the right things and treat the pet properly and train them properly. But then you also have the fact that like work is still quite busy. You do still work in the middle of the day, and then you also might get a pet that isn't socialized properly because you can't really go out and see a bunch of other
Special
people
cargo?
or dogs very often, and then they get very used to your presence. So if you leave, they might. It's a tough.
That's
it's a
what
tough
I would
thing.
be concerned about. Like, you get a dog and you train it, and it's like, oh, you're with me always. And then, like, when COVID lets up, and it's like, oh, you start working, it's like, you left me for 9 hours.
Right.
Where did you go? Well, how dare you? I destroyed everything in your house.
The last thing I want to do is give a pet anxiety because I raised them in the wrong time, the wrong way by accident, or just by happenstance. Yeah, that's dating me up, Chad.
No.
It's a lot of
Is my
meat and
favorite.
fur.
Yeah. Look at him. I love how his head usually kind of like he has the neck. I'm just waiting for the cut. So I'm gonna. And then it goes like this.
Yeah, he's
And I love it. That's my favorite.
He deletes his neck pretty good. Yeah.
Deletes.
Like, it just gets in there. But, yeah, he, except for we're both 17.
Wow, I didn't realize it was such a difference.
Have you always had black cats, or have you done like? Do you have like a specific kind? Like I've always had orange cats. It's always been my thing, even when I was a kid.
Well, so the first cats, you know, when Kat and I lived in Massachusetts, we were like, you know, we got our first house, and we're like, we want cats now because we love cats, and we found, and I actually said I didn't want a black cat because my friends have black cats, and all the ones I had met were very skittish. And I didn't know if that was just a trait of like black cats, like were more skittish or so. So I was like, I don't know if I really want a black cat just because of my experience. So we met Scooter, and Kat's like, I want Scooter so bad. His name was Suzuki. She's like, I really, really want him. And so we went and met him, and they were like, oh, also this is his like brother. Like basically, it wasn't really a brother, but they were both like strays that they like brought in. And they're like, this is his brother Charlie, who's Booker. And I was like, I love this cat. I need this cat. So we got both of them. So we had the brown tabby, and then Booker, who's like the black short hair, and then right after we got married, we got Zipper, the orange. And yeah, we don't really have any preference. They're all great. They're all different in their own way. You know,
Cats are cats. You know, they have all sorts of personality. I think if I had to go like off of visuals, I really love the blue gray or the is it Russian blue? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
There's two different kinds of gray cats that are that color. One is a little like circular, wider face, and the other one's a little bit more like, if you will, traditional, like slim, kind of tabby, structured face. But I just like that color. It's just really calming. And I might be biased because the one cat I've ever met that was that color was essentially dog-like. And anytime, and animals love me, so I love animals. So like anytime I sat down, come on over, just plop down in my lap, and just be like, pet me. I want to be pet now.
Yeah.
Oh, he's back. He's back.
He's back for 10 minutes.
I've been back for a minute. Do you have seltzer pee? What's that? Do you have seltzer pee? Does it come out?
It
doesn't come out fizzy.
Yeah, it doesn't come out carbonated.
I cracked the last one.
That's your last one? Oh man, you're screwed after this.
I might have to crack into some of those. Just
Oh,
to
here's-
drive away. Not gonna drive now, but later, just to drive away. Listen, we're in Texas. Alcohol ain't that far. No matter
It's
where.
not.
Right, it's just a can's throw away at any time.
like, you know, people are like,
Where is the liquor store?
That's it. Like, so my parents, luckily they had a liquor store across the street.
That wasn't luck, Jeremy. That was decisive move by your parents.
That was house hunting. And, but, like, you know, when Kat and I moved into our home place, if we wanted to go get beer or something, I mean, there was a corner store near us and everything like that, but it wasn't, there was supermarkets near us too, and I can't remember if I could get beer in supermarkets. I don't think you could. Probably have to go to the liquor store.
You can't in Jersey.
Yeah, so I like literally had to go, like, where's the nearest liquor store? I can't just go to the supermarket and buy a case of beer. Like, I have to go find the specific store that will sell it.
In retrospect, it's a real pain in the ass.
Yeah.
It honestly really never bothered me. Not that because I didn't really drink, like, besides going out and drinking. You know, I moved when I was 24, so I only, was of legal drinking age for a few years, and I really didn't, it wasn't like, drinking beer at home, so I very rarely had to go get alcohol. It would just be like, if I was out with friends or something, we would get drinks wherever we were.
Right.
But it's not something I ever thought of as,
Alright.
yeah, it's an inconvenience if I want to go to the liquor store and buy alcohol, but never like, why do we have to do this and other people don't? Moving to Texas, it like retroactively outraged me. Like, it's just everywhere here? You can get at the gas station?
Yeah.
You could just go to a gas station. But the exchange here is they go, yeah, you just get out, pump your gas, and then go buy it. And I go, well, pump my gas. What?
Oh, see,
gas.
I didn't have that. We still did the pump your own.
I've never heard anybody do that. I thought that was like a 50s thing. Hold on, here's $20 regular. Okay, go away now. I'll sit in my nice warm car while you deal with all the snow and ice and shit. I didn't know how to pump my gas until I moved here. Not that it's a complicated process. You take it out, you push the button, you click the thing, and the gas goes in. But I was like, I had like a
station has an attendant, it's technically illegal. So if you make mistakes, why do you think it took to make that happen? I don't know. People are angry, and so it's something I never thought of. Where gas, it's like drinking it. We need gas, and I'm like, just wait for the guy to come. He's like, there's no guy. No guy is coming. There is no man.
I'll let you know, because I almost said this about Massachusetts, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I'm just being an idiot, and it wasn't a thing, right? And I'm remembering it wrong. But it wasn't until 2015, which is after I moved to Texas. But before that, at gas stations in Massachusetts, the whole like, you know, you pump your gas and you like lift the thing down and just leave it there, let it fill up. Yeah. But those weren't on the pumps in Massachusetts. You had to hold it. You had to hold it. You weren't allowed like. Fireworks or anything like that, and you drive like an hour north into New Hampshire, and all the laws are out the window. Like it's lawless out there, man. No shit. There wasn't even a seatbelt law in New Hampshire for like, yeah, and there might be now, but when I left, I don't think there was. It was just like, New Hampshire was like, fuck it. Like, if you come in here, something might happen, who cares? Just go to Vermont. It's like 10 people anyway. We're like, Jesus, New Hampshire. Yeah.
Somebody in the chat pointed this out, and it's funny, I totally forgot about it, but I heard it all the time. They said, it's literally where the threat of stay in school or you'll end up pumping gas for the rest of your life came from. I'm like, oh yeah, that would be, like, you don't want to be working at the gas station pumping gas. In Jersey, the two, like, not to do the fast food thing. I mean, fuck, thank God people work in fast food. I need it, you know? Like, you're an essential worker to me. But the two, like, stay in school and you'll fuck up your life. It was working at a gas station or working a toll booth. Those are the two things of, like, you want to just sit in a toll booth all day? And I would say, well, I watch TV.
No, my mom's side of the family, which comes from kind of rural Texas, it was the post hole digger. So, like, the person who goes out and, like, digs the holes, but the fence.
Those things are a pain in the ass.
Yeah, like, oh, you're gonna go, you're gonna be a post hole digger. And it was like, what?
You get the two sticks.
Yep, little cups.
And you take out this much dirt at a fucking time.
Yeah. Oh, the little pinchy thing. They start out so good every time, and they never continue that way. Never. Now you got the little drill things that just send the dirt up like a conveyor belt.
And if the dirt was too hard, there's like, you get that big, I don't know what it's called, but it's like a giant fucking slab of metal. It's like steel.
I got one of those.
Yeah. And it's angled at the end. You gotta bash that into the ground a bunch of times just to soften the dirt, just to get in there with the post hole dig.
Yep.
That sucked. I had to do that sometimes, occasionally, when doing outside electrical work. That was doo-doo.
Remember, you were up in what, Indiana? Is that where you were born and raised?
Born and raised in Indiana.
Did you have a colloquial term up there for someone like, if you don't pay attention in school, you're gonna become this?
I was just thinking about that. I think it's the same as, I don't know if this is a typical one. I feel like I hear this more now than even then, but if there was anything, it was probably fast food. Which, you know, they're all like, you know, your entry-level jobs for various things. There's nothing wrong with any of them.
Or also, if it isn't, it isn't. If it's not entry level, there's plenty of people I see working at fast food that's exit level.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true.
Dude, I'd love to like retire into fast food. I'd be the one guy going like, can I spend my last like 5 years just working at a fast food place? You get free food? Yeah, I'll do it. I'll just be like,
some places.
Window.
I feel like that's common. Some people like retire and then they just go, I just want to do a job that's fun.
Yeah. Every fucking old person that I knew growing up, every grandparent or whatever, is like, I'm retired. So here's my new job.
Yeah.
Why? Why?
Jeremy,
faster I can get on that stage,
like, more so than anyone, Jeremy, I can see you like owning a bar somewhere. Where it's like you just retire. I don't know. Just like, like I can just picture you like, you know, behind a beer bag, like, you know, like here, you know, got a towel over your shoulder.
Can almost guarantee, like,
what the hell?
You know, I could be working at a bar older and it would be owned by my father.
Oh my god.
Because he can't fucking help himself with like pitching restaurants to me. And like he like his first thing, because like we go to Christmas parties and everything like that. My dad loves cooking, just loves cooking when he's at home. Like because his work day starts at like 6 a.m. and ends at like 2. So we get home and start cooking. And dinner would be done at like 5 or 6. We'd be like cooking that whole time. And so he, for Christmas parties and stuff, would make these chicken wings that would take him so long because they were like cooked a certain way and then breaded and then fried and then baked. And so like the outside was super crispy and inside was all moist and everything. And he's like, I'm gonna open a chicken place. Like, no one can sit down. It's just like a window. You come up, you get your chicken wings, and you leave. You take them with you. Right. It's called like I don't want people hanging around. It's gonna be called Just Wing It. You're gonna walk up and get this, and then so he's like has this whole thing. Then he started coming here when I moved here, and we're eating. You know, I'd always take Portuguese or Burritos or whatever like that. And he's like, why don't we Massachusetts? And I'm like, I don't know.
Take another break.
It's a chain, and I don't have them. And he's like, this would do so well. It's like, all right. I know a guy. We're gonna talk to some people, and like we're gonna get one restaurant. It's gonna have Torchy's. It's gonna have Rudy's. It's gonna have Hop Dotties.